I need to know who runs the restaurant board of trustees or whatever you may call it. Um, because y'all trying to put gratuity on top of gratuity. Y'all already charged gratuity and y'all talking about since the World Cup is coming and most people around the world don't charge gratuity or understand gratuity, we're going to put gratuity on the bills. You already doing that. So are you putting gratuity on top of gratuity at this point? Because I just paid 18% at Spice House, okay, for a sampler and some crab legs. Like, what is the goal here? To just tax us and gratuity us to death? Like, why are we going this far? How about just paying your workers? That's an easy concept. Pay your workers. We shouldn't have to pay them.
Yo, she make a good point, and that's what we're getting into today. Atlanta is always doing Atlanta type things, and now they are taxing, the restaurants are deciding to tax gratuity on top of gratuity. In fact, an automatic 20% because of the World Cup or at some restaurants. And it's crazy. As you can see, like this young lady said, 18%. And if she only bought that by herself, that's kind of OD. Now, let me be real. Personally, I ain't got no issue or no problem with tipping as long as the service is good. But we know that's not always the case. But yo, we got to check out what's going on in Atlanta. Look at some of the restaurants that are putting this automatic gratuity on people because of the World Cup.
Check, please. Some Atlanta restaurants are changing up their tipping policies this summer ahead of the World Cup. The restaurant owners say they're doing it because fans from other countries are used to different tipping customs, including not tipping at all. But how are customers reacting to the new policy? Fox 5's Rob Durienzo finds out in Midtown.
Well, all of these restaurants here in Midtown are preparing to be slammed when the World Cup comes to town. And since everybody has a different view on tipping, some of them are making some changes. This summer will be one for the books for T's Brunch Bar in Midtown.
My name's Tanisha, I'm the owner. I just wanted to come over and say hello. And
T's owner, Tanisha Murray Butler, says ahead of the World Cup crush, she has to look out for her servers.
I want to make sure that they're getting their tip, making sure because they're going to be working hard.
That's why she decided to include a 20% automatic gratuity to every
Crazy.
bill.
Right now they're at 18%. I'm going to go up 2 more percent for the World Cup.
Butler says with a lot of people coming to Atlanta from around the
That's
world,
gonna make people
they bring
not
a lot
come
of
to your
different
restaurant.
attitudes and customs when it comes to leaving a tip.
Are y'all from Atlanta?
No.
Yay, so y'all from, where y'all from?
The customers we spoke with say they actually completely understand.
I used to work in the service industry, and it's important because a lot of people miss the mark sometimes with tipping or showing gratitude.
We're actually pretty excited. We've been planning this. We've been talking about it nonstop.
Slim Clark has waited tables at T's for 3 years. She says she really isn't paying too much attention to the policy change.
That 20% is just another number. We're going to keep our service going the same way we always did.
No matter where you live, what country you live in. I just want them to be happy, have great food, and good customer service. And I want them to pay tips. I want them to take care of the server.
Now keep in mind, these restaurants here in Atlanta are not the only ones doing this ahead of the World Cup. Restaurants in other host cities like Boston and Kansas City are also doing the same.
All right, so y'all see, this is not the answer. Come on, this is not the answer. Now, we get it. We want people to be compensated. But does it really make logical sense to you that you have people coming into your state and these people are not used to tipping, so you want to force tipping onto them because it's the custom where you're from? And on top of that, you're going to increase the tip amount greater than what is already standard at your restaurant. Like, how does that make sense? That sounds like somebody that's trying to finesse. And let's be real. Tips are something that should, unless you're in a big group, be what? They should be optional, because sometimes the service doesn't even deem you giving somebody a tip. Right? Tips are optional. You can't be mad because people coming in from different countries and they're not used to paying tips and they don't want to pay tips. See, this isn't really a smart business owner, because what you're really doing, especially the fact that you got this news feature, now people know where not to go, right? Why would somebody go somewhere where they know they're going to be automatically tipped 20%? And that is going to definitely lead to workers not giving you they all. Like, if they already know they got 20% guaranteed automatic, like, that's not going to incentivize them to give you good service. It's just the opposite. So to me, this isn't a smart move as a business. I would say a smarter move may not be the most financial, but it would have been to do the opposite, which is, hey, we know people are coming in from other countries. They're not used to tipping. So, we're not going to mandate any tipping. In fact, we're even going to remove the gratuity or the tip for parties. Now, some people may be like, yo, that's stupid. That's financially dumb. But that's more likely to get people coming into the door than saying, hey, we about to start taxing y'all. Even if you from here, if you're not from here, we going to hit y'all with that automatic 20% tip. No, I'm going to be like, I'm good. Let me go somewhere else where they ain't doing that. See, that's just smart business. And you could tell they didn't really think that through. She just went ahead and said, hey, we trying to get some more money. And guess what? You the owner. Isn't it your responsibility to make sure that your workers are getting paid what you believe is fair? Why are you passing that off onto the customer in the form of a mandated tip? Don't make no sense to me, but I'm not the only one that feel that way. Let's check out and see what the people had to say about it. I got a few more clips so you can hear what the people got to say about being mandated to tip 20% in the ATL.
The issue with the 20% grant is we no longer get customer service. And y'all
Facts.
love to say, oh, you wasn't going to tip anyway. That's why you mad about the 20% grant. Boo, I worked in food service when I was in college. I'm very familiar with the lack of tipping among people, not just black people, people in general. The
Right.
thing is, y'all get an automatic grant. I asked for a honey mustard. You got an attitude.
Right.
I asked for a water. A girl brought me a room temperature cup of water. No ice,
What?
no nothing. You can't get refills on drinks.
What?
Y'all charging 20% grant on the hookah and then additional 20% grant on the food. Giving out 2 different receipts. Oh, the hookah girl get a 20% grant. You asking the hookah girl for assistance. She got an attitude. She come back 30 minutes later. Y'all only give people a 2-hour time slot. By the time she come back, it's time for us to get up and leave the restaurant. I'm going to tip regardless. But the thing is, with an automatic gratuity, stop acting like y'all want to help us. Because y'all don't. The proof is in the pudding. People on the app are complaining. On every platform are complaining. So if you going to automatically get the 20%, can you just please read my honey mustard without a goddamn attitude? Thank you.
See, everybody gets this. When you give them a automatic tip, it means that they are not going to give you good service. Like, that's the biggest issue. And let's just be honest, man. We live in a society now where people are they're so lazy. They're conditioned to give you the minimum amount of effort, but they want to reap all of the rewards. When you tell somebody, like the young lady just said, that they're automatically going to get the 20% tip, regardless of what type of service they give you, they're not going to give you the best service unless they are just automatically somebody that just operates that way and operates and recognizes that they could potentially lose their job by, being disrespectful and not treating customers with the best service. But then again, that kind of comes from the top. Only if the boss is leading with that type of energy, or the manager of that restaurant is leading with that type of energy, that we always have to bring the best service regardless of whether you get tipped or not. But let's be real, that's not really the attitude that you see in a lot of restaurants.
Yo, this automatic gratuity shit that we got in Atlanta, and it's probably in a couple other places, this shit is trash. Huh? It's dumb. And the reason I say that, it's because these bartenders and these waitresses and all that, these servers, they're gonna get paid regardless, so they don't care. You know what I'm saying? Whether you give them bad service or good service, they gonna get their tip regardless. Like before, they really had to work for it, so they really had to actually do some work. You know what I'm saying? Paying attention to their customers, have a nice attitude and all that. Now, that shit out the window. Now, when I go to spots, I see bartenders smoking hookah with other people, waitresses in different sections drinking and just...
That's crazy.
Not paying attention. They're just simply not paying attention on doing what they're supposed to do. And it's because of that. It's because of the automatic tip, the automatic 20% that you're going to get. I honestly believe that the automatic 20%, it should be with like a group. If you got a group of 6 or 8, something like that, a group of 6 more, yeah, the automatic 20% come into play.
That makes
but
sense.
not when we at the bar and it's 1 or 2 of us, whatever.
Yeah, that's crazy.
And it took me 45 minutes to get a drink.
Right.
Like, what? Like, I should determine if you get a tip or not. As a customer, I should determine that.
Always.
Not just, yeah, you're going to get it regardless, no matter what you order. I don't know. Or maybe I'm just bitching because I had a bad experience last night at a spot where me and wifey went. No, I ain't bitching. It's still stupid. Sorry.
It is.
Stupid. I'm sorry.
Can we take a moment to talk about the Atlanta tipping culture? Y'all, I visited Atlanta for a couple days. I just got back home to Houston today, and I was like, I cannot believe that every single place I went to, besides when I ordered coffee, charged me a 18 to 20% automatic service charge.
That's crazy. Solo.
For fucking terrible customer service.
Wow.
When I tell you the bare minimum customer service, it was the bare minimum customer service. Not one place I went to made me feel like I should have tipped them more than the included 18 to 20%. Not one place. And granted, I have worked in the service industry before. I was a server for many, many years. I get that a lot of the times bartenders and servers make almost 100% of their money from tips. So I get it. That was my life at one point. However, the tipping culture in Atlanta has become so crazy. I feel like most of the people are coming to work knowing that I'm going to make my money regardless. I'm going to do the bare minimum. And that's what they did.
Terrible.
Like, I was in Buckhead in the middle of the day at a nice-ass restaurant, 3:30 p.m., maybe 4. I'm literally the only person sitting at the bar, maybe one couple in the dining room, 2 drinks, working on my laptop. And I get my check, and it's an automatic 20%. And I was like,
that's crazy.
You ain't even do nothing.
One person.
You barely came to check on me because I was literally the only one at the bar. I probably would have tipped you more than that just because it wasn't anybody in here. I just didn't understand it. Then I went to another spot where I was with a group of people, and we literally had to keep getting up and going to the bartender to find our server, who at the end of the night bought us a check with an automatic 20% gratuity, and she did nothing. It was
wild.
I don't know. The tipping culture is out of control, and I know it's in Houston, but it's not as rampant in Atlanta. I mean, as it is in Atlanta. I don't get it. Somebody help me. I don't get it.
She not alone. I don't get it either. I feel like this is not the move at all. And the fact that they're charging an automatic gratuity when you are a single patron, that don't make no sense. I thought that the automatic tip was only for parties of usually either like 6 or 8 or more or something like that. But it's insane that they're now just giving you an automatic tip, even if you are just by yourself in the restaurant, or even if it's 2 people. I still feel like it should be optional and on the customer to decide whether or not they want to tip and how much they want to tip. Because as we all know, the more you give them that automatic tip, they're going to give you the worst service. Like, they're not going to be incentivized to give you good service. Let's be real. It's not just going to happen. It's not going to work like that. And this is insane. You know, once again, Atlanta doing Atlanta things. But let me know your thoughts. I want to know, are they doing this where you live? Have you experienced this in Atlanta? What's your thoughts about, being taxed automatically with a tip, even if you are by yourself or with even just one other person when you're out dining, man? Let me know your thoughts in the comments. Would love to hear it. We'll be back with another one. You already know you ain't got to subscribe today. You can join the family whenever you're ready, but there's a video on your screen right now. Yo, you got to check this out. It is a young lady who posted this TikTok, and it ended up getting her fired. And the aftermath of that firing was epic. Yo, you want to check that out? There's a video on your screen. I'm Jay. I'll catch you in the next one. Until then, stay blessed.